Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I thought it'd be fun to share a quick overview of the first battle report for Warhammer 40,000 10th edition, brought to you by Games Workshop, and this is a free video that everybody can go and watch. Usually this would be on their Warhammer Plus site, but they've put it up on YouTube as well, and I'll put links down below to the YouTube video where I got all the information and the images for this video from. It's always great to see these Warhammer 40,000 or any Warhammer battle reports made by Games Workshop themselves, because they do a fantastic job with them. The terrain's amazing, as you'll see as we go through the video. And in this video, they left the comments on, which is really cool. They should do that more often. But this is a battle brought to you by Simon and Ben from the Warhammer community team, and you'll be seeing the Ultramarines going up against the Tyranids in a combat patrol game, and they're playing through a mission that's taken straight out of the new core book, Clash of Patrols. It was really great to see some little snippets of this new mission, including the mission rules. The models that they painted up were just done so well, as you would expect. I mean, if they're not going to be bad, are they? In any kind of video, they do. But I've got to say, it looked really cool to see just how well they've done all the miniatures. The introduction was fantastic. It really showed clearly exactly which models were going to be included. You got a good close-up look at all the different units and some of the things they can do, weapons they're armed with, that kind of thing. Also got a look at different abilities, the faction-specific abilities especially, so that was really nice, and some secondary objectives too. So we're getting a little sneak peek here as to what we could expect perhaps from the larger games, not just the combat patrol ones. One thing I think that the Warhammer Plus team do really well when they put these battle reports together is that they explain the rules, how they go along and how they're going to affect the battle, and that's really good. You're not just watching the battle report, you're watching the game actually being played with explainers throughout, and that's really well done. So that's something that they do really well, and I wish they would just do more of these and make them available for free to watch, because it would really help. It would get people into buying more products, I'm sure. Having it behind the paywall of Warhammer Plus is a bit of a shame when these battle reports are so good. Now, I stopped with Warhammer Plus pretty quickly. The one thing I really liked from it were the battle reports, but I just don't think they make them often enough to be worth the price. But if they did them free for everyone to watch on YouTube, I think it would just go down so well with the community, get them loads of goodwill. People would really enjoy it. Anyway, let's get back to the battle report then. So it was really great to see how they included the different rules, like the leader, deep strike, things like that, and they talked you through each step as they were going through the setup and the pre-match steps. So that was really good, really informative. As they were setting up the models, you had another chance to have a real good look at them, and again, the quality is just fantastic on these. They're done so well, and then this overhead shot in between different parts of the battle was really nice, just to give you a good idea of where the game was, but it didn't stay there all the time. It was cut in between close-ups of the models, which I really like, little bits seeing the two players, and then back to these overhead views so you could keep a good idea of the flow of the battle. Before we get to the battle itself, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Master of Miniatures for sponsoring today's video and helping me to keep going with these daily videos. I really like this company. The Fungal Tree Ant is one of my favourite models I've got. That's part of my Blood Bowl team that's now retired and on the shelf. It's fantastic quality, so much available there for all the games that you like to play. And one thing I think is fantastic, they really do highlight their partner sculptors who design the models for them. So check them out. There's a link down below, and thanks again to them for sponsoring the channel today. Right, let's get back to the battle. So once those pre-battle steps have taken place, setup had begun, we got to see some little snippets of the rules, like the stratagem section, Oath a Moment, again for the faction abilities there. Very nice to see a little sneak peek as to what could be the free rules that we'll see when 10th edition is released in June. And as the battle started, we got to see a lot more of the terrain. Here's a fantastic image. This is actually taken and modelled from that animation that they showed us when we saw 10th edition for the first time during the online preview, and so cool that they've incorporated that into the terrain. I think a lot of people might want to do this for their boards too. Brilliant idea. As the battle was underway, and I'm not going to give you any spoilers, they kept showing all the different rules. They were even giving little weapon stat lines so you could see the weapons being used. And they'd also show you some of the weapon effects as well, so the weapon abilities and rules. That was really good to see that actually in action and explained as the game went on. Here's a close-up look at one of the terrain pieces, and I really liked how they used rocks and then put the trees on top to give this jungle feel, but also to add more height to the table. That's a really nice tip, I think, there, if you want to create some of your own terrain, something I'll be copying for sure. It was really fun to see all the models interacting and fighting around this terrain. We got to see the fight first rules in play, and then they were chucking in bits from the animation as it went. We're seeing all those attacks coming from Von Ryer's leapers, and then a little meter that showed you how many wounds each model would take. Then we could keep track of how many they had left, and then in between they'd show the overhead shot again, so you knew exactly where the action was taking place on the board. Overall, this was a really impressive battle report. I was just watching it all the way through, and it wasn't like boring at any point really. It just kept the action flowing. I think the way they incorporate the rules and explain it as you go is a really good way of putting across these battle reports, and you could learn a lot from this, and I definitely recommend you heading over and checking it out using that link down below, because you're going to get to see so many of the different rules and abilities, get to see the models up close that are going to be included in the box set, and just get some great tips from all this terrain as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing 10th edition in action. Can't wait to get those free rules. As soon as those free rules are available officially, I'll be making a how to play series. So if you're looking to check that out, then as soon as the game goes live, I should get that video up as quick as I can so you can see it all playing out. And it's going to be really fun, I think, to start all off on the same playing field, everyone at the same level as this new edition begins. And if you're getting this new box set, I think you're going to love these miniatures. They look fantastic. If you want to join the Warhammer Plus, I have put a link down that below as well. I haven't joined it anymore. I did at the beginning, but I kind of cancelled it quite quickly. It wasn't for me. As I say, I like the battle reports, but there just wasn't enough, and they weren't coming out as frequently as I would have liked. But you might like everything that's on there. I think joining late is better than joining at the beginning, because there's a lot more available on there now. You're going to catch up with all the animations and things like that. So if that's your bag, then I think you might enjoy it, but really it's down to you to have a look, see what you think. I mean, just because I didn't like it doesn't mean you won't. You might really enjoy it. So yeah, worth a look, I think, to see what's available and give it a go. You could even just do it for a month or two and see what you thought of it, and then you could cancel after that if you don't like it. If you've got the time to watch it, I definitely recommend heading over to give this battle report a go. If you're into Warhammer 40,000 and looking forward to 10th edition, this is going to be a great teaser and a great way to start getting a few ideas of how it plays out, even if it is only the combat patrol level. Thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, it'd be great if you hit the like button. Subscribe as well if you've been enjoying the content recently. That'd be awesome. But for now, thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep going with these regular videos. I couldn't do this without you, and I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, support the channel, get some great perks at the same time, there's a link down below in the description. It'll be awesome to see you there.